What up, world? Welcome to another episode of RMT. That's Real Man Talk. It's your boy, Stan the Man, coming to you with another great conversation piece on today. And before we get started, I want to thank you for joining me here on RMT. So let's go ahead and get into it. Today we want to talk about being impatient. Yes, being impatient. Being impatient can cost us dearly. It can cost us dearly. It can cost you your life. You can go to prison by rushing, trying to get money. And there might be some things that you do that can land you in a situation that can cost you either your life or a, a large amount of your life can be taken away from you. We can be impatient to grow up too fast, and we'll miss out on some of the things that we could have enjoyed as a teen. Some going to the homecoming parties and going to the homecoming games and being involved in some of the high school events. And sometimes we get so impatient that we want to get in front of it to go ahead and get grown. And when we get grown, we realize like, dang, man, I could have enjoyed this. Or I couldn't have enjoyed that. But that impatient, it pushes us to make decisions that we wouldn't normally make because we want to get to where we want to get to faster, and we want to skip the whole process. We want to skip the whole process, and we don't want to take out the time to build up. Let me see, to build up to get enough information to move to the next level. So, yes, a lot of times we want to skip steps in order to get to the next step quicker, and by us missing that step, it might be some crucial information that we need on the next level. But because we skipped that step, now we got to go back, or we might miss out, or we might not get the job because we don't have that one little piece of information, or we don't have that one skill that we should have picked up at that level that we wanted to skip because we're being impatient. Yes. So let's talk about a couple of fields that we go into and how, impatience can affect our life. Now, if you look at one of the top fields here in the U.S. is being a doctor. Being a doctor and, you know, even people being influencer or being on YouTube, personalities, those type of things, they're making pretty good money too, screaming for gaming and all that. That's making pretty good money too. Now, on some of those things, we'll just go doctor first. Being a doctor, it'll take 10 to 12 years in order to get to that point. And just depends on what type of doctor that you are trying to be. It takes time to build up to that point from going to college. And once you graduate college, going on to going to medical school. After going to medical school, you have to do what they call it, but it's like a residency. You have to do the residency, and then after that, but it's different steps that you have to do. And even if you want to go on YouTube or be an influencer, you just don't hop on the camera and then all of a sudden you get all these followers and all these views, and it it might happen like a quick, but being consistent with it, it takes time to build up that platform. It takes time. And then sometimes you don't see in the background what people might be doing. In the background, people might be working, making videos every day. They might be learning software or editing, or, if they don't have those type of backgrounds, and it's a lot of time that they putting into it that you might not see that they're building in the background. And so when they come in front of the camera, you thinking that, wow, how did they do that? Or where did they get that information from? And it might be years of training or years of research that they done put into building to this point in order to build up their platform or to get to the point where they need to get to. But they didn't skip the process. Even if you go to somebody and you building a skill set, right? And I know, like, you're going into different fields. They don't let you, especially like in real estate, you can't go to be a broker until you've been a realtor first, and then you go. I think that's how it is. I know, but don't quote me on that. And so, but you have to work up under somebody first in order to. You have to work up under someone first in order for you to get to the next level. So let me give you an example. Sometimes we as people, we love the material things that come with having a certain skill set. So, if in this day and time, if you have a certain skill set, you'll be able to make this amount of money. And we like the money. And we don't like to go and get the skills and sacrifice in order to get to that place. When you're being impatient, a lot of impatient people don't like to make the sacrifice. They don't like to sacrifice their time, their blood, sweat, and tears. Because the only way that you can be successful is with sacrifice. Some people don't want to take away like watching Netflix, being on social media, listening to music, or hanging out with their friends, drinking, smoking, doing drugs. You know, a lot of time, and then when we do it, you might be doing busy work to make it seem like you're doing something to make you feel good about yourself, but in all actuality, you're not really doing nothing. You're not having any movement because you just want the feeling that I'm going through the process. You don't want to actually go through the process. And when you're going through the process, uh, man, a lot of times it's lonely when you're going through the process. And people don't like to be lonely, so it turned into them impatient because I want to hurry up and get to the success. I want people to see me shining. I want people to know that I built this. I want them to hurry up and build this. I want to do this while I'm young. I don't want to be old and people know I'm successful. I want to do it right now. And sometimes people are willing to compromise their own integrity in order to get somewhere faster. Are you willing to sacrifice your integrity? Are you willing to sacrifice who you are in order to get to where you want faster? And being impatient will drive you directly in that direction. Being impatient. You know, when I think about a couple of things, it's like God will put you in a situation where you have to wait. You have to wait. We get impatient. We get impatient with God, but we we get impatient with God and we want him to work fast. But when it comes to doing something in this world, we have the patience sometimes to like graduate high school. Some people got the patience to do it, some people just want to get right to the money. And we just want God to just work this miracle right now. It didn't take it took time to build up that problem. It took time to build up the habit. It took time to miss car notes. It took time to miss mortgages. It took time to um get to a point where you are about to lose something. It took time for you to have bad health in different situations. And it takes time to build something bad, but you want something good to happen overnight. You want something good to happen overnight. And when we get to the point where we are so impatient that we're willing to go out here and do anything, man, you're going to lose yourself. You're not going to know who that person is in the mirror because you don't want to take out the time to really hone in on your skills. You don't want to take out the time to really focus on what you need to do, write down your goals, and go out to accomplish them. So let me say this. So if you're going out, I'm not no life coach. I'm not no counselor. I'm not no therapist. I'm not none of those things. But I just say this. If you don't know what you want to do, if you seeking or looking and you just don't have a skill set, just try some things. Don't try no bad things or nothing like that. But try different things to see like if this something that I might could do. You might realize that you got skills and you might realize you got certain talents that you didn't ever know you have. And let me say this, it's people around you that will suppress your gift or you'll never know you had it because they're so busy keeping you down. Yeah. Some of your friends that's around you know that you got a certain skill set. They know that you talented. They know that. You can't see it, but they know that you're talented. And they going to do everything to keep your confidence down, to make you feel bad about yourself, to make you think that you are not as good as you are, just so they can't see you shine or they can't see you move up or have success, because you're going to be leaving them behind because they know they don't have it. They know they don't have that skill set. You can be married. You can have a husband or a wife that want to keep you back. It's some people that got divorced and they done found different gifts they never knew they had. They never knew they had. Men and women on both ends. They never knew they had because of the person that they was with was so focused on keeping them down, so focused on tearing them down with verbal or sometimes, hopefully not physical, but sometimes physical. Let's be honest. Keeping them so focused on the mental and physical abuse that they inflicting on them that they cannot concentrate and really build on what God has gave them as a talent. So now when they get from around there, they get healed up, they realize, oh, I can do this. I'm a good I can cook, you know. Oh, I can record. I can cut hair. Oh, I'm good at crafts. I never knew that because I was around somebody that wanted to suppress who I was. Wanted to suppress who I was, and so now, me, me being impatient and saying, you know what, man, let me, you know what, man, forget this. I'm gonna make sure that whatever I do, I'm gonna continue to grind and focus and learn everything that I need to do with what I want to do until I do it. Buckle down and do it. Because if you don't never sacrifice, if you don't never take out the time to see what you want, somebody else gonna decide it for you. Somebody else gonna decide what your skill set is. Somebody else gonna decide what your worth is. And understand this, man, that God put something in all of us. He put something inside of all of us that's special. That's why we don't look like nobody else. Some people that have twins, but that's why we don't sound like some people. That's why we don't act like certain people. You know, you got, and I'm gonna give you an example. You got some guys that's tall. You know, they might be fit to play basketball. Some guys are short, stocky. They might be fit to play football. You got some females. You know, that's fit to run track. Some fit to run volleyball. I mean, to play volleyball. You got certain people that got certain body shapes. You got certain people that has certain abilities that can fit within certain realms. It might be somebody that being athletic and they great and that's what they excel at. You got somebody that might be good at academics and they excel at that. So whenever you thinking about, okay, this what I want to do, just go out of it. Don't be impatient. Make sure you build up your skill set. Don't rush. Don't rush the process and don't rush the process, and make sure you learn as much as you can, even the little things that really count along the way. Don't get too arrogant and don't think that you are that once you do get there. So, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, for taking our time of y'all day to just come in here and join me on RMT. I appreciate the likes, the views, man, all of even the conversation and people telling me, hey, man, you're doing a great job. I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone out there taking out the time to listen to me. And I'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.